Years ago, I moved to a one-bedroom apartment in Cannock Chase, England. It was my first time living alone. The apartment building was really old, from the 1940s. After a few months, I found something strange in my bathroom. There was a wooden board covering a hole in the ceiling that led to an attic, and it had broken into two pieces on the floor. I couldn't figure out how it had broken because it was really thick. I got scared and thought someone might be up in the attic. So, I sent pictures to my landlord and asked if someone had been up there. But she didn't warn me about it. She told me to call her right away, and when I did, she said the previous tenants had experienced the same thing. She promised to fix the board, and she did. A month later, I woke up one night at 4 a.m. I felt like someone was touching me, and it gave me goosebumps. It was silent, but then I heard a dragging sound from above my bed. It sounded like someone dragging a heavy bag. I was sure someone was up there because no animal could make that noise. After 5 minutes, I gathered the courage to turn on the light, grabbed a cricket bat, and went to the bathroom. I found out that the new board covering the attic hole had also broken in half. I felt sick to my stomach. The dragging sound had stopped, but I heard whispers coming from the attic. It sounded like children's voices, and they kept saying, "It's your turn, it's your turn." I turned on all the lights in my apartment to make things feel normal. It was 5 a.m. and still dark outside. I tried to watch TV to calm down, but a fuse blew, and my pet Daisy started screeching like I'd never heard before. I'd never heard him make those sounds. It was like he was in trouble. I grabbed my car keys, ran out to my car, and waited until the sun came up. When I saw people walking their dogs in the morning, I felt better and went back inside. The front door was open, but I probably left it open when I rushed out. I checked on Daisy in the kitchen, but he wasn't in his cage. I got worried and searched the whole place. In the bathroom, I heard splashing, and I found Daisy almost drowned in the toilet. I picked him up, washed him, and dried him off. I was so confused. At 8 a.m., I called my landlord and told her a toned-down version of what happened. She surprised me by saying, "Oh, you heard the whispering too." I stayed in that apartment for another year and a half. I heard the whispering a few more times, and the attic board broke twice. But now, I live somewhere else. Recently, the landlord called and said the new tenants wanted to talk to me about what's been happening there. It's their problem now. In the stillness of night, the daughter retired to her bed, her mind ensnared by a relentless, throbbing headache. With the arrival of the next dawn, she had departed from the realm of the living, succumbing to the silent ravages of an aneurysm. Following her somber farewell at the hands of mourning rituals, the bereaved family sought solace elsewhere. It was during this time that the father, in his grief-stricken state, implored my uncle, who was the brother of my mother, to undertake a visit to their domicile for the purpose of tending to their cherished pets. Accompanying them on this solemn mission were my parents, then in the fledgling stages of their romantic journey. My mother, a woman possessed by a deep passion for music, had heard whispers of an exquisite grand piano within the house. Her desire to play it was a compelling force that drew her inside, while my father, in pursuit of his dreams of becoming a veterinarian, shared in the journey. Upon crossing the threshold of the dwelling, my uncle and father embarked on their descent into the basement to attend to the welfare of the household's beloved animals. Meanwhile, my mother, on the ground floor, approached the magnificent piano. Her fingers danced across the keys in a harmonious ballet of sound and emotion. Yet, as her melody unfolded, she felt a subtle, ethereal caress against her ankles, a touch that was more spirit than substance. Her initial thought was that one of the feline occupants had emerged from the depths of the basement, silently brushing past her. Her hands continued their dance upon the keys, undeterred by this spectral touch. But then it occurred once more, the gentle phantom's touch, the brush of something intangible. Intrigued, and now somewhat unsettled, she peered beneath the grand piano, searching for the source of this ethereal contact. To her dismay, there was naught to be seen. With a sense of growing unease, she resumed her enchanting performance. It was then that she felt it, an unseen grasp encircling her legs, a grip both firm and persistent. Panic surged through her veins, a chilling wave of dread coursing through her being. She fled from the instrument, her footsteps a blur as she raced to the basement door, urgently summoning my uncle and father to her side. Out in the open air once more, her disquiet was palpable, and it was evident to my uncle that something profound had transpired. With a voice shaken by anxiety, my mother recounted the inexplicable encounter to my uncle, who, upon hearing her words, paled visibly. He then imparted to her a macabre revelation. The departed daughter, who had so tragically slipped into the abyss, had a peculiar penchant for a spectral game with her father. Whenever the father would take his seat at the piano, the departed child would stealthily take refuge beneath the instrument, seizing her father's ankles and compelling his feet to dance upon the pedals. A haunting pas de deux between the living and the dearly departed. When I was 16 one night, I was sleeping, and I woke up because my bedroom door opened. Then, someone sat on my bed. I felt my leg get brushed, and the bed sank under the weight of the person. I thought it was my mom, so I opened my eyes. But it wasn't my mom. I saw a boy, about my age, and he didn't have eyes. His eye sockets were empty, like two dark holes. He was sitting at the end of my bed and held a small box in his hand. I was surprised, but reached out to take the box. He pulled his hand back. I reached again and said, "Give it to me." Then I blinked, and when I opened my eyes again, he was gone. But I could still see the impression on my bed where he had been sitting. Fast forward 5 years. My girlfriend came over to my house to do homework. After she finished, she took a nap while waiting for her parents to pick her up. When they arrived, I tried to wake her up. She suddenly opened her eyes and stared at a corner where the wall met the ceiling. She pointed in that direction and went back to sleep. I shook her again, and she fully woke up. I told her what she had done, and she looked really scared. She said, "I saw a little boy up on the wall. He had no eyes, and he was in a Spider-Man pose, just staring at me." I got freaked out and told her about my experience with the same kid. Fast forward another 5 years. I was still with the same girlfriend, and now we had a 2-year-old daughter. We were living in my parents' house, in my old room. Our daughter started waking up at the same time every night and talking. After a while, I realized she was having almost the same conversation every night. I playfully asked her one time who she was talking to. She said, "It's a little boy. He's nice, but he's lost and looking for his mommy." Our daughter's nightly chats continued until we moved into our own place later that year. Thank you for watching. If you have your own eerie stories or suggestions for future videos, let us know by sending us a mail through wisewalk35@gmail.com. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this video as captivating as I did. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so, and leave your comments in the comment section. and let's keep the eerie conversations going. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe. Goodbye for now.